Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I realize it's been a long time since I've posted anything, and that is due primarily to the fact that we have winter here in Minneapolis, and it actually wasn't that bad of a winter, all things considered, but my garage is not heated or insulated. As you can see, it is a rat's nest of sorts, and I don't have a ton of room in here anyway, so unless I had a dedicated shop to work in, I just can't produce videos for 6 months of the year. But with that said, I am back and the projects are going to kick off once again. I have a bunch of things to do on a bunch of different cars, and the biggest news of all is the return of something that we haven't seen here in a while, and that would be the D2 S8. Yes, it is back from the body shop. It is all Ming blue. It needs a very, very serious detail. It's been done at the body shop for about a week and a half, and I just haven't had the time or chance to get it out of there. And so it was unfortunately sitting outside. It got covered and everything. So it arrived looking quite roached, to say the least. So I need to go through this and give it a really good cleanup, and I've given it a really quick bath, but it needs a full paint correction. It's got a little bit of stuff on here, environmental stuff, but this car is going to get a top to bottom, inside and out, upside down, basically full detail, paint correction, coating, etc. And then if you followed this channel for any amount of time, then you will undoubtedly remember that the problem I had with the S8 was that I could not get it in for a state inspection. Here in Minnesota, when you have a car that is written off or given a salvage title by the insurance company, you are instructed to have a rebuilt title issued. But in order to get that, you have to go to a state inspection where they don't really worry about the safety of the car as much as they worry about the parts used and the origin of those parts. So you have to have an affidavit that states that all of the parts were purchased, etc., and you have to have a paper trail showing the purchase of all the parts used in order to make the car good again. So I expected that to be my process, and that's what I was trying to get an appointment for several years, honestly. And I will say I didn't try each and every day of 2 years. I was trying during the nicer weather months, but each time I would look, all of the appointment locations around the state of Minnesota were basically full, so I couldn't even get on the schedule. I had even emailed the department and said, hey, what's the deal? Is your system broken? Because it's always full and it's full statewide. So I finally got an appointment the end of March of this year, and I'm doing this video on it's May 7th. Okay, so very end of March I get an appointment about a month out. So my appointment was scheduled for the inspection on April 25th. Ironically, the day after I get an appointment, I get a call, text, and an email from the state inspection, and they effectively cancel my appointment. Can't make this up. And the kicker is, they say because of the age and or value of my vehicle, an inspection is not needed. Well, at the time that this happened and when I started trying to apply for an inspection, it technically was needed. So in the amount of time that it took to actually get an appointment date, apparently my car fell out of the requirement category, and that made my life a lot easier. So I effectively just went to my local registrar office and was in and out in 20 minutes, and I have a rebuilt title on the way. So unfortunately, I didn't get to walk out with the new title and tabs right there because Minnesota is still wickedly backwards compared to neighboring states such as Wisconsin or where I grew up in Iowa. It was extremely efficient and everything just worked. Here, no, it's an absolute bleep show at times. some very helpful people, thankfully, in the offices. But the system as a whole, I mean, if you want to just a little bit of insight into the state that I live in, just Google MNLARS, MNLARS, and see the debacle that became and the huge amount of incompetence. It is just frankly embarrassingly, staggeringly bad, okay? But with that said, that has cleared the path for me. I can now retitle this vehicle, hopefully start driving it again real soon, which is great. It's got some very old gas in it, so my plan is to maybe go through about a half a tank, add a half tank of full, or new fuel, and then use that tank again, and then change the fuel filter, and then from there we should be good. But before I can do that, like I said, I need to do a full paint correction and detail on this thing to get it ready. And the driver's side rear window, as you can see, is missing. It's not really missing, it's down in there, but the regulator has failed, and so I need to now tackle a window regulator. Now, these aren't super easy to find, and luckily, when I had the parts car that I bought in order to fix this one, I kept the rear window frame in its entirety. So I have this entire outer frame with the glass, with all the internals, etc. So I can either swap that part over, I'm going to take a kind of a closer look at it, or simply take the parts I need to make this one work, which I will probably go for that, because then I don't have to deal with all the alignment part of this. So there's that, and that was a little bit of a bummer. When it was at the body shop, he had put the windows down to air out the car, and then the window went partially up, and when I was there visiting the car just before I picked it up, I helped it back up, but then somehow it got put down again, or it went down again on its own. I'm not sure, but this is where I'm at now. So this is a potential project to tackle in just a couple days from now. So if that's the case, I may try to film that process as well, depending on what the timeline looks like. If you've ever tried to film anything while working on it, you realize it makes that process go much, much slower. So if time allows, I will certainly film that. But yeah, aside from that, it's just the paint's dirty from sitting out, so it's going to get a good detail. I've got to reassemble the front bumper. I've got all the driving lights and grills yet to go in that, but we will get all that done soon enough. In other quick news, other projects, obviously the Pearl car, the red car needs to come back up here, and it needs major work. Full suspension needs to come out of that car. The bushings are just shot, the subframe mounts. Springs are sagging in the rear. So that's going to be kind of a long-term project that you're probably going to be seeing here on the channel, because I will try to film as much of that as I can. Probably wind up dropping the subframes, like, brake lines. It's been 20 years since that car, actually more than 20 years now, since that car had all of that done. And it's time, and I've had the stockpile of parts for a long time now, so hopefully I'll have time to just chip away at that here and there. A few projects on the 96 A6, a few on the 2012, including a new touchscreen nav system that's going to get put into that one here soon. Pearl car needs an AC compressor and some other things. So at some point I'll do a summary video maybe of everything that's to come, and hopefully we can get through this all. But also I did shoot a bunch of kind of intermediate videos between last fall and over the winter, and I may publish some of that. So if you see some videos coming out that seem a little out of sequence, if I find anything useful there that I think should be published, I will do so. So there might be some just weirdly random things in there. Me talking about C7 electric power steering issues, perhaps, because been there again. And just some odds and ends that may find their way into the channel here. So anyhow, thank you for watching. And actually, before I go, I'm going to take a moment, and we got to remember there's an S-CAR preservation member who sadly left us, I think about 4 days ago now. Like I said, it is now May 7th. Zach Kennedy, who was an active participant in several of the old school Audi forums, passed away unexpectedly. So just remember his family and friends, and rest in peace, Zach. To the rest of you, thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more.